Well, what's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys and you ladies, this literally does not work. Wow. You know what? The Dallas Cowboys, you know what? This has got to be the craziest thing that I've heard, that we're trading him to the Browns. I mean, that's literally like you're going to the Russian gulag. You know, you're talking about the Cleveland Browns. This is my take on the Dallas Cowboys.
Held hostage at the whim of a the whim of a madman. I like that.
Wow, the Dallas Cowboys. I've got to go through and see if what we are getting. For a 6th and a 5th, we get Amari. We trade Amari Cooper. We at least get, I think, the $16 million in cap relief. At least we got a 6th and a 5th. Cap room. Well, I was actually. This is what's funny. It's been a busy day. I've been actually working in my workshop all day, and I had to drop off Michael to pick up his car. He got new tires put on there because he's a road man, and he's on the road, so he's got to make sure when he gets to go see his baby that he's got good tires. So I don't want him busting down on the way and everything else. So he was getting his tires put on, and it's snowing like crazy. And what I was actually coming down to talk about was my afternoon video was about the Cowboys actually had good news because they were currently under the salary cap by $4.3 million. So now it's going to be the Cowboys have about $20 million unless the Browns took his whole contract. Now we have to see how that's going to work, but now the Cowboys at least have some cap room to be able to make some of these other moves. Somebody said the 5th and the 6th round picks probably won't make the team. I'm not sure about that one because here's the problem for the Cowboys. We have let go of everybody. I mean, everybody. You know, when we look at, let me see if I can push it up in here. Let's see. Wrong one. Let me push it up here. When you look at what we have on the team currently, we don't have that many players. So we had Amari Cooper, who was a $22 million cut. DeMarcus Lawrence, who, of course, is a $27 million hit. Then it's Dak after his restructuring, which is down to 19.7. So anybody out there that talks about Dak Prescott, if we weren't paying that garbage-ass quarterback, we could field the team. That's some bullshit, okay? Because you had two players that were higher than him, and Zeke Elliott is right there at 18, and Tyron Smith is there at 17. Now, if the Cowboys are able to trade La'el Collins as well and get some compensation, that's another big hit. Then all of a sudden, you know, we're at $20 million right now. If you can trade La'el Collins and get rid of, say, 10 of his, then we're now talking about having $30 million, and all of a sudden you now have $30 million to work with to get Randy Gregory, to try and get Bobby Wagner, you know, to pay Blake Jarwin. What's up, Aisha Robinson? How you doing? Leonard Skinner counted as a blessing they were going to release him. I agree, and we've got a lot of holes to fill, and I dare say I'd rather fill it with some young talent than to keep getting these one-year rentals on guys. And remember, Tom Brady was a 6th-round draft pick. Antonio Brown was a 6th-round draft pick. So don't poo-poo those guys out there. Can't salvage. There is a cap. But to send him to Cleveland with the Cleveland Browns and Amari Cooper, I mean, Amari Cooper with Baker Mayfield, you know, if he was calling Dak, allegedly, Dak the Black Kirk Cousins, what's he going to call? What's he going to call Baker Mayfield? The White Anthony Wright? I don't know. What's it going to be? We're not getting, dude, stop. We're not getting, the Cowboys are crazy, but they're not that crazy. Okay? We could have restructured Coop and kept him. True. You could have restructured them and literally had them for, you know, the $6 million hit that we took. But the thing is I this is my thing. I now it was a light bulb that came off this morning for me. I think it's Amari Cooper is not the persona that the Dallas Cowboys want. That he is in fact too low key. Because see, here's the thing. Here's what you got to understand. They seem to love guys that love to fight. They love guys that there's drama with. You understand what I'm saying? D-Law, with the when they started talking about contract and money, D-Law was up there, man, I ain't, screw y'all. I ain't getting my shoulder fixed till you pay me. They pay him. They took care of it. Mr. Antoine Wright, bank at Dak will suffer huge behind the, but there may be a plan here. There may be a plan here. To me, if Juju is not here, I think it'll be a bigger surprise than if he is here. I'm serious. Couple of reasons here. One, Dak Prescott and the relationship with Juju. Okay? See, I want you to think about this. Dak Prescott, bringing him there with the 7-Eleven sponsorship that he has and showing him, hey, buddy, this is how we can make that money, We already got Jerry Jones buying wine at 7-Eleven and all, right? You know what I'm saying? We can do this stuff here together in Dallas. And that relationship is building. I'm not saying that Juju is better than Amari, but if you can get Juju for half the money, then maybe you've got something to work with there. And the thing I was trying to point out today, where everybody is saying, oh, my God, Amari Cooper, Dak wasn't doing shit until Amari Cooper came. But, guys, let's be clear here. Let's be clear here. The guys we had on offense that were catching the ball, we didn't have anybody to throw to. We literally didn't have anybody. Okay, we had Dalton Schultz and Blake Jarwin basically young. They stunk. We had Rico Gathers actually playing some. Rico. Suave. We had Alan Hearns, who came from Miami because he looked like he was now becoming a bust. Okay? He got all 20 catches. We had Golf Swam as one of our best tight ends. The best receiver we had would have been Cole Beasley, but he's a slot possession guy. And we had Michael Gallup as a rookie who didn't know his head from his ass. So, yes, Amari Cooper got there, and him and Dak clicked. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But it wasn't Amari Cooper teaching Dak how to throw. And let's be clear here, Amari Cooper without Dak, him and David Carr weren't doing jack, which is why he got traded. So that was a symbiotic, I messed that up, a relationship there. And I don't know that Amari Cooper, especially going to Faker Mayfield, is going to do great things. But now having CeeDee Lamb and having a mature Michael Gallup and a Blake Jarwin, our talent level, even without Amari Cooper, is better than what it was in 2018. Dak is also a better passer now than he was before. So those dynamics, to me, that's the narrative, and that's one of those things. Hang on, let me grab something here, guys. Hold it. I mean, you can't compare what we had as far as tight ends, wide receivers, and things before Amari Cooper got here to what we have right now. Because, see, here's what they do to you.
Can take numbers and skew them any way we want. We often can take numbers and we'll fit them into the narrative that we want to try and paint. And I probably am guilty of this. Can take numbers and skew them any way we want. We often can take numbers and we'll fit them into the narrative that we want to try and paint.
Okay, so that's my take on where we are. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Lola, what's up, Miss Hot Sauce? How you doing? The question is, here's the question, because it's a sad day, Lola. I have to agree with you. Aisha Robinson, how you doing? It's sad. Norlena Davies, how you doing? Okay, so here's the thing. The question is, if they just did it to say, okay, we saved the money and we're not going to do anything with it, then of course it's the way. Sheila Brazil, what's up, Sheila? I got all the ladies up in here. Saturday afternoon. This was just like perfect timing here. If they're going to take the $16 million, and do something with it to improve the team, then I'm okay with it. If you're going to say, you know what, we're going to make a move at Bobby Wagner, or we're going to make a move to get a better offensive lineman, I'm okay, because here's the thing. The biggest problem we had was not Amari Cooper being in the offensive plan. You'd like to have him in the plan more, but the biggest problem was this. We could not run the football, and we could not pass protect well. If you can give your quarterback 5 seconds, any quarterback is going to be able to make plays, and guys are going to break open. That's a fact. If you go through and you look at what happened to Aaron Rodgers against the 49ers, or you look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, how they lost was because they got pressure on the quarterback. Their offensive line could not give them enough time. You understand? If you're going to take that money, and if you're going to trade Lyle Collins and use some of the money from him to fix the offensive line so you can get a running game, that's going to help your other guys. Because the problem is with Kellen Moore and Mike McCarthy is they get too pass happy. You need to be balanced. And if you go through the numbers with the Dallas Cowboys, where they were actually best last year was actually in 12 personnel, which is a 2 tight end set. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. If you do have a healthy Michael Gallup and a CeeDee Lamb, and you've got Dalton Schultz, and you get yourself another good pass-catching, blocking tight end, you're actually got something that's really good right there, because you can now go and do the opposite of what the defense is doing, because you can be a run formation, you can be a passing formation. They put 8 men in the box. You take Tony Pollard and you motion him outside. He's now a wide receiver. If Semi is a hybrid tight end wide receiver, okay. Is he going to be blocking, or is he going to be catching the football? 8 men in the box. Semi's out there. Dalton Schultz is out there. CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup. That's 5 pass catchers while they've got the 8 men in the box. Okay? Quick hitters. Bam. If they stay in nickel, then I got 2 tight ends. One's a hybrid tight end, and I'm going to run the football. But the key to me is you got to fix the lines. Offensive line, defensive line. For once, if they just focused in on the defensive lines, oh my God, we'd be so good. If they decided, let's go out and get Bobby Wagner, okay, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Because right now we got $20 million. We got $20 million, okay? And then you say, well, you're not getting much for $20 million. You have to understand how when you make the new deals and stuff that the Cowboys typically can, they'll kind of backload the contracts. Just like Dak's contract averages $40 million a year, but you can look up here and you can see what his cap number is right now is only $19 million this year, and it was $17 last year. So you can get Randy Gregory and have like a $2 million cap hit. Sono Thunder, what's up? Man, I think Semi's got a lot of upside. He's big and fast, and I think he'll put on some weight. Shout out to you on that one. Boom. Let me get these super chats added to our drawings that we do. I appreciate that. Any new channel memberships and any super chats get you in our drawings. And we're going to start doing some other drawings as well, like question and answer ones for you guys. So that way, I got to be giving for everybody. Okay, so we got to take care of everybody. Shout out to everybody who's in here with the news. I appreciate that. And Mr. Antoine Wright, where you been, Mr. Antoine Wright? Antoine Myers. I keep calling you Antoine Wright because I have a friend whose name is Antoine Wright. And you're right, Antoine Myers. Okay, so here's my other part of I started saying this and then I got off track. But the reason that he doesn't fit is Amari Cooper is not that flamboyant, arrogant, rowdy guy. He's a great receiver, but you got to understand, in Dallas, it's about the star. It's about the show. And this is why I think Juju fits. Juju and his antics that he had in, Pittsburgh, that's not Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's low key. We go to work. We got our lunch pail and everything else. Dallas, it's about the party. It's about the noise that you make. And see, Amari Cooper, when they were trashing him, he didn't jump back at him, right? He didn't jump back at him. And so that was the opportunity for the show. You understand? This is like wrestling now. It's all about, brother, I'm coming to get you, brother. You know what? You don't talk about me in my play. You can't question my heart, brother. I'm out here giving it all, and I'm going to show you. That's what they're looking for. And Amari Cooper's not that guy. Amari Cooper, check his pulse. Is he breathing? Amari Cooper makes a big play. He doesn't have a big touchdown dance. He doesn't, get me the damn ball like a T.O. He doesn't get up there in people's face like Dez Bryant. We the best. They can't fucking stop us. I'm sorry, Dad. Didn't mean to cuss. That's what they're looking for. And Amari Cooper didn't give him the show that they want. He has the production, but see, CD Lamb. Here's CD. Mark Hutchinson. Think about it. Amari Cooper, I bet you, was not one of the highest selling jersey sellers. Right? Huh? You said you didn't? That's what I'm saying. He's not selling jerseys. They got a 5th and a 6th from the Browns. They sent him to Siberia.
That's it.
Well, you know what? I know that sounds bad, but see, here's the thing with the Cowboys. Usually, we let go of DeMarcus Ware, we got nothing. We got rid of Dez Bryant, we got nothing. Got rid of Tony Romo, we got nothing. So this, for the Cowboys, this is a major move.
So you're going to be able to get 2 players?
Well, you got 2 draft picks. You can package that up and move up to the 4th round. Because here's what you got to understand the Cowboys are doing. The Cowboys, they felt so good because in the last 2 drafts, they got Diggs, they got CeeDee Lamb, they got Micah Parsons, they got OC. And they're like, you know what? Hey, we can be wheelers and dealers here in the draft. In the draft, man. Because we the Dallas Cowboys. We fixed the defense through the draft. And so now, picks. I need picks. Give me picks. Oh, Lyle Collins. We can save some money, and we can get some picks for Lyle Collins. Maybe we can get a 3rd-round pick for Lyle Collins. We got a 5th and a 6th here. Okay, we can wheel and deal. We can wheel and deal, and we can do great things in the draft. Yeah. Because we about that life. We the Cowboys. We know what the hell we're doing. Excuse me. I'm sitting here with my brother, my deep voice, and it's like killing my voice here. I need some money. Oh, 5th and a 6th swapped. Oh, damn. Okay, that sucks. But it's better to have gotten rid of the money than just cutting them. But, hold on, let me grab my water. Hold on.
So we only got a 6th round?
We got a 5th.
And
We swapped 5th and 6th.
So they got the all into the deal.
Not really.
Because they got a 6th round pick.
They got the big contract. Coop was always used for Cup, not Amari. Stop the cap. Wait, say what? Stop lying. Coop was always used for Cap. Okay. We got 1 draft pick and we traded the 5th pick. Hold it. We traded a 5th for a 6th?
That's why I thought I read.
Hold it. That's some bullshit. Hold it. Let me go back up here. See, this is where I'm stupid. Wait. Okay, the trade is. Let's shout out to Gina. Browns get Amari Cooper and a 6, and we get a 5th and a 6.
Yeah,
Okay, okay, right. So, and we get cap relief. Okay, so basically we got a 5th round pick. Yeah, we got a 5th round pick, and we swapped with the Browns. I'm okay with that. I'm more okay with that than us just having to release him. Okay, because we were getting close to that point. We basically had to. If he was on the roster on the 20th, you got to cut him. You had to cut him and get nothing. So, yeah, let me go through here and see what we find because it's going to be crazy. The Browns, the brand new brother in town. Yeah, boy. Dope sounds.
I hope Amari Cooper balls out this year.
Okay. Boom. Opens up $16 million. So we now have $20 million. Guys, at least we got some cash. At least we not broke-ass mother humpers anymore.
Enough to pay Wagner.
Yes, if we work out the deal on Bobby Wagner's, because he's a free agent right now, they can make a new deal for them.
I'll take
So I'm okay with that. Like I said, if they go through and they use the money to make the team better, I'm okay. Because if we can get a defense that stops the run, I'm okay. If we can get an offensive line that can open up some holes for old-ass Zeke, I'm okay. And see, and again, Matthew, here's my thing. The Cowboys are adjusting to attitude right now. That's what they're looking at. They're looking at guys and saying, you know what, Lyle Collins, you missed all of the year before because you came in overweight and you had hip issues, right? Albert, damn, need to shore up our offense. Yes, Albert, I agree with you on that. And so then having the Carlos, Mike Thompson, shout out to you, Mike. I got to get you. Damn, you guys are going too quick now. Scott Opie, shout out to you, Scott Opie, and Mike Thompson, 25 months. Damn, shout out to you. Damn,
That's over 2 years.
you know I'm gonna add you to the list right now because 2 years. Shout out to you. So Lyle Collins missing time because he didn't take the drug test. Whether or not he was dirty, maybe he was riding dirty, but still, 7 times. We lost your ass for 7 weeks, and the Cowboys are like, you know what? Our offensive line played better when you weren't there. Yeah, he should have. Right. He literally made it worse because.
Hey, but now we know we got with Steele.
Okay, but that $15 million. Why am I getting a notification? Okay. Oh, that was okay. This is another one of those ugly things that we hear. Damn. Y'all. Son of Thunder. Shout it. Knowing the Cowboys, yeah, they'll probably draft a wide receiver instead of taking care of some of the other ones. Oh, no. No. That $16 million will cover. Johnny White, your piece is on the way.
Yeah, that went out yesterday.
Johnny White. Damn, I can't keep up. Mark Hutchinson. No, that'll cover a lot more than the draft picks, my man, because the draft picks will be less than about $10 million. And especially since we don't have a top 10 pick, actually about $8 million will cover them. So we actually have $20 million right now, and there's still, I think the Cowboys still might be doing something with D-Law. That $27 million hit that we have for him, I think if they're saying we're going to be in, because if it were me, again, I'm not the GM, I'm not the owner. I wish I were.
But you're right about Amari Cooper going to the Browns.
But that's like going to Siberia. Johnny White, shout out to Johnny. Johnny, number 5. Preston Spears, maybe we get Michael Thompson. We're going to have to do a daggone drawing. Preston Spears. Okay, can you turn on the big lights here? I'm sitting here in the dark.
We don't want to be like your cousin.
Yeah, well, no, but see, I've got good light. No, see, I got good lighting on me because of the computer screen.
I like what they were saying,
Yeah, he was faded. He was faded. He was low key faded. Excellent. There we go. All right. Probably will draft a wide receiver because that's what that's Dallas Cowboys doing Dallas Cowboy thing. Say what? Well, Simi is they're talking about him as a hybrid tight end wide receiver. They're trying to get crafty. No, he's 6'3". He's pretty tall. He's tall. He's good size, man. He is really good size. He can put on a little bit of weight and he'll be good to go. And I still think Juju fits the type of attitude in Dallas. You know, everything's bigger in Dallas. Attitudes, the show, you know, it's the show. Last night, I was laying in bed last night and had the TV on and I was on HBO and thinking about, I came across Running Man, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Running. It's a dumb movie, but it's all about the show and the hype. And that's what the Cowboys are about, the show and the hype. And Amari Cooper didn't do the show or the hype. You follow me? Were you going out buying Amari Cooper jerseys? No. You're getting CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb. First down. CeeDee Lamb doing the 180 catches in the end zone. It's about the show, man. And Amari Cooper is, the lunch pail guy. He makes a catch, here's the ball to the referee, and he goes back in the huddle. He sits on the sideline. He's all quiet. That's what they want. That's why they want Juju, man. Juju is a show. You know he's going to be TikTok dancing and everything else on Star and stuff, right? No, they don't want that kind of show, many homes. Many homes. No, they don't want that kind of show. But Albert, that's what the Cowboys are about. You hollered Coop, but you didn't get the show. And the fans outside, yeah, again, jersey sales. They weren't there. They were there for Dak. They're there. Zeke Eaton, right? They're there for CeeDee Lamb. You need that rack? Okay. Anthony Crocker. What's up, Anthony? Coker. I totally agree. And that's what it's about. So you get $16 million in cap relief. Okay, cool. We got some money here, and we can build some hype. We got a conversation for weeks now about Amari Cooper going, right? We're in the headlines every day. Right? Now we got some money. We got the headlines, and now the speculation, Mark, that will give us 10 draft picks if I'm not mistaken. No, I don't think we have that many. I think we get the extra compensatory pick, and we swapped 6 picks, and we get the 5th. So we just added 2. So I think we've got 9. But I'll take 10. But we may be getting some more with Lyle Collins. So what are we getting for Amari Cooper? $16 million of cap relief. We swapped 6-round picks, and we pick up a 5th. I don't know why you swapped the 6-round picks. It's not that big a deal with them, but okay. You have a Coop jersey? Okay. Right. So they were going to get rid of him. They were going to get rid of him. We all know that they were going to get rid of him. At least they got something in return. So I can't complain about that. I just can't. I mean, I could, but I can't. So at least there's some source of life. At least you can say that at least the Cowboys have a pulse. At least they've done something. At least they've gotten the cap. Hey, they got rid of Greg Zuerlein. That's an improvement right there. Okay? You got to at least say, hey, okay, all right, we did something. Cowboys are spending. They have 4 free agents to bring back. Dalton, right. Randy, hopefully. Well, we know that they're supposedly close with Randy Gregory, that they have good line of communication. It's probably not going to happen before Monday, but they feel that they're going to get that worked out. They probably were waiting on Michael Gallups to go ahead and get this extra cap room done to take it because it'll probably take $5 or $6 million for the first year on his. And now you've got $20 million to work with, which is a little bit better. And so on. They're also, of course, they made that call to Bobby Wagner, and depending on who you listen to, they're not that interested in it. They're not. Don't expect them to be in the sweepstakes. Of course, you're not going to say we'll spend anything to get Bobby Wagner. You're not going to say that. You're not. You got to play a little bit hard to get. Randy's going to get overpaid. Yeah, well, at least he doesn't have to worry about pass the Dutchie from the left. Pass the Dutchie from the left.
Hell of a drug.
Edwina or Erwina Blas. What's up, Erwina? I like that name. I hope I pronounced it right. Erwina. It just kind of rolls off your tongue. Hey, watching from Hampton, Virginia. Oh, you're only about 3 hours away south. Shout out to you. Is it snowing down your way, or are you just getting rain? Because we got a whiteout up here. Could Gallup emerge as number one? First thing, I just hope Gallup can emerge on the roster, okay? Because I'm not sure he's going to be ready to start the season. That's why I think you have to bring in somebody else to go out there as well. Oh, my God. Arwina. That's got to be a first, because I just usually just butcher names. I'm serious. I suck at pronouncing names, okay? I can't phonetically sound it out or anything like that. I suck. So I feel happy that I got that right. Maybe the Cowboys will start getting shit right, too, and they'll go to the Super Bowl, because Mark finally got something right. He actually pronounced the name right. Mark is too cool for school. That's all I can say. Lizzie Potatoes. Oh, man. I miss potatoes. I haven't had a potato in 7 weeks. I'm on keto. Man. Lizzie, can I have some potatoes? Come on. Okay. So that's my thing. I'm telling you, that Juju will be a Dallas Cowboy because he puts on the show. Because that's what the Cowboys are about. It's about the show. Dr. Pepper series, Cooper was traded for a fifth because of his contract. Yep. And you know what? I bet you if they could trade Zeke's contract, they probably consider that one, but ain't nobody going to do that. Now I got to tell you, Arwina, that I would be usually the first one that would butcher it up. I literally would be the one, because I butcher up everybody's. So, well, no. See, here's the thing. Dez Bryant, here's the difference. Dez got cut. They did Amari Cooper a favor. They literally ended Dez Bryant's career because they held on to him till after all the big money was done. All the teams had already made all their free agent acquisitions. All the money was spent. We waited and waited and waited. Oh, we're going to cut you, Dez. By that time, nobody had money left. It was too late. And so he missed out because the Cowboys held on to him. At least Amari, although being sent to the Browns with Faker Mayfield, unless the Browns are going to make like a trade for, Deshaun Watson or something, which that could possibly happen.
Yeah, but Deshaun Watson has to agree with the Browns.
Schultz will have 150. Tyrese Johnson, Mark, we need to wait to see in finished product. We're getting upset. Yes, Tyrese, you're right. I agree 100%. Like I said, at least the Cowboys got something as opposed to nothing. And at least it's only $6 million in dead money. Unlike when we got rid of DeMarcus Ware, I think we had like $10 million, and back when he was released, that was a lot. So yeah, they really screwed Dez. They really did. Amari got 1,000 yards with Andy Dalton. Amari wasn't the problem. So Kenneth, what was the problem then? Why have a drama queen quitter? Ooh, Cali Cowboys. What about D-Law? His contract is. You know what? I'm thinking that they may go ahead and restructure his deal. Jalen Hurts to what? Alex? Seriously? He deleted his Eagles Twitter? No. Oh, now that would scare me. Hold on. Jalen Hurts. Hold on. If you don't want to try to, okay. All right, so I don't see anything on that one. But Jalen Hurts, his thing is still there. He still got his stuff. What are you talking about? He still got all his bird stuff on here. Yeah, he still got. I'm done with Dallas. Eagles will still suck. Okay, we like that. We always like that. At the moment we don't, but listen, right now, sometimes to fix a mess, you have to make a mess. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to tear down some stuff and start over. And so what I think the Cowboys are saying, okay, we basically missed Amari Cooper for 3 games, right? Basically missed him for 3 games. And the last half of the season, we didn't really use him. So if you look at the last half of the season and say, okay, if I get that again, then that's a problem. So we got to try and do something a little different. And Derek Edgington, okay, of course, who works for the Cowboys, it's better than just releasing him. Now they must re-sign Gallup, draft a wide receiver, and pray CD is everything they expected and give it to him, which is true. You got to have a lot of faith in CD Lamb. And I will say, when we let go of Dez after the 2017 season, we were truly lost because, like I went through the litany of who we had for receivers. We had, we went out and got Alan Hearns, and we had we drafted Michael Gallup, who, Michael Gallup's good, but he wasn't good at the beginning of the season. And you had Cole Beasley. We're in better shape now with what we have with CD, Michael Gallup, Noah Brown, and I think we get Juju than we were back then when we got rid of Dez. So if you're just tuning in, CD Lamb is now the big shot for us because Amari Cooper has been sent to Siberia, to the Browns. Carolina Cowboys, I kind of feel that way too. Cowgirls mess up again. I'm going to try and look on the flip side of this thing. Let's just try. Instead of looking at the glass half empty, let's be happy we got a glass and that we got something in the glass, okay? What's up, DC? Proc. You're close by, Proc. During the season, you definitely got to come by for a game. Every time we've gotten big player contracts, we never get the money out of them. You understand? Randy, what's up, Randy? How are you doing? We never get the value out of the contracts, and we end up saying, damn, we screwed up on that. I mean, honestly, I can look and say we haven't got the value for, DeMarcus Lawrence's contract. We haven't gotten the value for it for Zeke. Let's think about 2014. We had the NFL rushing champ, the Dallas Cowboys single season record holder, and instead of paying him, we let him walk, right? Right? You remember DeMarco Murray? We let him walk, and we ended up getting a compensatory pick. Son of Thunder, Cowboys do something about a complete tight end because Schultz is not that. I agree. I agree 100% with that. We let DeMarco Murray go. We got a 4th-round compensatory pick. And because we let go of DeMarco Murray, we were able to pick up Dak Prescott with that compensatory pick. You realize that, right? The compensatory pick of letting go DeMarco Murray. Had we kept DeMarco Murray, we wouldn't have drafted Zeke. Okay? We wouldn't have got the compensatory pick to get Dak. We would have been relying on Tony Romo, and it might have been that we ended up getting Johnny Manziel. For all we know, they should have said, we got to get another quarterback. We get Johnny Manziel. Or, worse, we could have traded up and we got Paxton Lynch. And so you wouldn't have had Zeke. You'd have an old-ass DeMarco Murray and maybe a Paxton Lynch as a quarterback. So sometimes because things happen and you think of it as a big loss, it ends up being better. I can think back and say, when we let go of DeMarcus Ware. We got rid of DeMarcus Ware in 2013. We also lost Jason Hatcher. We didn't sign him to a big deal, right? He ended up going to Washington and getting paid. And Sean Lee got hurt. We had the 32nd rated defense that jumped up to 19th. We were better without him. And we didn't have that big cap hit. Basically, we swapped 6-round picks and we got a 5th. So not much, but for a guy that you were going to cut, that's better than what you were going to get, which was nothing. So, fans, we're all going to be mad. Oh, man, we got flipped. No, look, you were going to cut him. We cut Dez Bryant, got nothing. Tony Romo left. We got nothing. DeMarcus Lawrence got cut. We got nothing. At least we got something out of Amari Cooper, and at least we can stop talking about that. And maybe, just maybe, it leads us on to being a player in free agency. Maybe. Yes, no. Maybe they go try and get Bobby Wagner. Maybe. Maybe there's a plan here and we just don't see it yet. I agree with you on that, DJ. We need help on it's for me. More importantly than Amari Cooper is, if you're going to say you can fix the offensive line or have Amari Cooper, I'm going to say fix the offensive line. Point blank. Point blank, that's what I'm going to do. To me, everything. Christopher Spears. Why are we keeping Zeke? Because you can't. There's nothing you can do with Zeke except for restructure him, because his cap number, if you're going to pay him $18 million whether he goes or stays. You could make him a post-June 1st cut, which is an $18 million hit, or you cut him right now and it's a $30 million dead hit. So you got to borrow money to cut him. So even if he didn't play, you'd still have to keep him. So, Christopher, that's the answer on that. Christopher Spires. So, things are going to get interesting here by Monday. You know that, right? But Monday being legal tampering, teams will be able to talk to free agents. It's going to be interesting. I think the plan, Steve, that might be the plan. The plan may be we're going to be in the cellar and we're going to go ahead and try and get Sean Payton. That's possible. That may be the plan, and that we're going to free up some cash, get rid of some players, and get some draft picks, and let him pick the team that he wants. Zeke will be here for next year. Then you can cut him after that. They have no plan, Mark. They tagged a tight end. They lost in a trade to the Browns. El Cheapo Joe's isn't going to get premium talent through free agency. I'm going to say, let's wait and see. Because living on the spicy side of life, well, like that. Living on the spicy side of life. I like that. Shout out to you. You never know, because, you can have traumatic things happen that change your opinion on things. Okay? And Jerry Jones has had a couple of traumatic things that have just happened that make you really think about your own mortality. The fact that he's got a 25-year-old daughter that's, basically taken him to court to be able to say, I'm your daughter, gets you thinking about life and things. And losing Marilyn Love, that 40-year relationship, that person that you said is your best friend, makes you realize how short and precious life is. You may end up having Jerry Jones all of a sudden looking at this differently and saying, screw all the bullshit, okay? Amari's not my guy, okay? He pissed me off because he didn't get the shot and he missed those 3 games and he wasn't part of it, so damn him. But we need to do something different, And Jerry Jones, seeing the success of Matthew Stafford and the Rams and everything else, I'm telling you, that might have lit a fire underneath of them that they try and do something different. I don't know. And hell, Stephen Jones may think differently because now he may have another sibling that he has to fight for ownership of the Cowboys. Maybe she wants to go ahead and become, assistant GM or the finance, the money man. You never know. You never know. I think you guys are better off without Amari. He's getting old and costs too much. Well, that's true. How much cap will we get after this? Well, here's where we are before. They haven't recalculated it yet, although I can check and see they might have. Let's see if over the cap has. Wow, they've already done it. Damn, wow. Over the cap, shout out to them. Them boys are good. That boy is good. They've already got it. You can look up here, up there, cap space right now. We have $19.63 million at the moment, and we have $31 million in 2023 with the conservative estimates on the cap. And 2024, you got $129 million. So all of a sudden, the Cowboys can now be player plays. And if they want more money, and if they do work out something for Lyle Collins, they can save another $9 million. They could be close to $30 million this weekend with just one other move. With just one other move, they could be close to $30 million, okay? And, they could always restructure D-Law and get a little extra change if they need to. I would say, I'll tell you what. If I'm the GM, hypothetically, let's say I'm the GM. I'm looking at these numbers. These are conservative numbers right here. This is before Amazon and Apple, we are fighting it out for Sunday Ticket, which may be $7.5 billion, which will translate, just Sunday Ticket will translate to $115 million per team. Okay? $115 million per team in cap space. I'm looking at this and saying, you know what? Let's go down here to D-Law. D-Law, your base salary is $19 million. Shit, that's a lot of money. You got a few more years left on that deal. We know that we're going to pay for it sooner or later. How about this? How about we take $10 million of that money? No, let's say $12 million of that money. And we turn that into guaranteed money. And we go ahead and add that over the life of the contract. That gives us $10 million. Drops this cap number down. Drops it down to about 18. And we take that $10 million and we use that and bring in Bobby Wagner. I know I'm going to pay more money down the road on D-Law's contract, but that $10 million of extra cap space, we can bring in Bobby Wagner. Would that be worth it to say, next year, the year after, we're going to pay more for D-Law, but we know we're going to get more money because the salary cap is going to continue to blow up. It just went up, from 182 to or 188 to, went up $25 million this year before the new money starts kicking in. And 2024 is when all of the new contract money will come in. And when that comes in, that thing's going to go through the roof. So do we look at it and say, let's go ahead and use the model of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Rams, and we go out and we get ourselves a real linebacker. We go out and we get a real linebacker, not one that's on one leg, not one that's got a glass neck. We go out and we get a real linebacker. Because now, here's what you can do. If you bring back D-Law, you get Bobby Wagner, you bring back Randy Gregory, right? You get Michael Gallup signed. Hopefully he's ready for the start of the season, but I don't think he will. You go into the draft. You've got your defensive ends. You got your hybrid in Micah Parsons. You got your linebacker taken care of. You do have Gallimore, Tristan Hill, and Beemore, right? You got most of your line together. You can go in the draft. You got some extra picks. You go for the best player available. This draft is full of tight ends, offensive linemen, and defensive linemen. And wide receivers is deep too. Wide receivers is deep. You go in, especially if you get a pick or two with Lyle Collins, you'll have 10 picks. You go through, you take the best player available in the draft. So if it's a defensive lineman, if it's a wide receiver, if it's an offensive lineman, if it's a tight end, whoever, you take the guy. Maybe it's Jordan, Jordan Davis. Maybe he falls there. You take him. Then the defense is fixed. Maybe it's one of the offensive linemen. Maybe you get the replacement for Tyron Smith, or you end up getting a great guard to replace Connor Williams. You got Terrence Steele, who's your starter right there at tackle. Maybe it's a wide receiver to replace Amari Cooper. But then you still have 9 more picks to use to fill in. Maybe you get the wide receiver in the second round. Great players don't always come in the first round, guys. Great players don't always come in the first round. AJ Powell says, oh, my God. Defense, for me, listen, offensive line, defensive line. You do those two for me, I'm good. I'm good. Cowboys going backwards, I don't know about that. You know what? I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt for the moment. I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt for the moment and see where this goes. I'm going to give I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to the Cowboys on it and say, let's see what they do with it from here, okay? Let's see what they do from here. They're trying to clean up and get some money because clearly that's what we've done. We've cleaned up and we've gotten some money. Let me see if we actually see what the dead money is right now that we have. I don't know if – no, they're not listing all the dead money. They probably can't keep up on all that yet. Let's see what they're going to do from here on out. That's all we got to do. No, just hold up. Just hold up. Let's see what they're going to do. You don't know what their plan is. Let's at least give them benefit of the doubt. How about that? Because the reality is we can sit here and be mad about something that we can't change. We can't change that they made this move. We can be mad. We can get our blood pressure up. We can be angry. But what good is it going to do? Gina Thorne. What's up, Gina? But what good is it going to do for us to get mad? How about we deal with the situation? If the team is ass next year, okay, I'm going to be sad next year. I'm not going to be sad or mad all summer. That ain't going to do me it's not going to change it. Yeah, if you can't change it, we're not the GM that can make the call. So don't listen, okay? Because I tell you what, if they go out there and they pull in Bobby Wagner, all of a sudden you start thinking a little bit differently. Okay, we're going, wait, we just did something. So give them a chance. Give them a chance to try and do something. And if they don't do something, then we can kill them some more, okay? Then we kill them. Right now, let's just wait and see. Let's just wait and see if they follow this up. Because right now, here's the thing. To do what they're talking about doing right now, and that's keeping Randy Gregory and, getting Gallup signed, and this is with the franchise tag already for Dalton Schultz is already baked in here now. Because if they actually work out a deal for Dalton Schultz, then it'll be a lower cap number. Let's see if they do some other moves to get some more picks and go in the draft, knowing that this is a draft. Because here's where you got to understand. Think about this. There's no quarterbacks in this draft, but there's a hell of a lot of offensive linemen. There's a lot of defensive linemen. This could be where you say, we're going to get young on our lines. We're going to draft lots of linemen because they're basically saying that you're going to be able to get great receivers all the way into the 4th round.
Well, can we wait then?
Well, yeah, you can. So it could be we're trying to reload. And if the Cowboys do take advantage, and let's say, they get lucky like they did with CeeDee Lamb and Diggs and Micah Parsons, let's say they get 2 outstanding linemen in the draft. Well, a defensive and offensive one that are on the caliber of some of those guys that are going to be able to be here for numbers of years. I can understand trading Lyle Collins because Lyle Collins, I think his best years are behind him, and it's a big salary. Just saying. I'm just saying. Jerry Jones sucks as GM. Alfonso Walton, shout out 22 months. Alfonso, damn. That's a long time, Alfonso. Shout out to you. We are watching fantasy football on the pro level. Okay. I guess you could say that, but all right. Will Nico, he is 32 years old. But let me say this much about Bobby Wagner. Let me say this. Can you see these numbers up here? How many tackles did he have last year? 170? How many did he have the year before? 138? How many did he have the year before that? 159? How many did he have the year before that? 138? How many did he have the year before that? 133? Yes, he is 32 years old. Let's say he doesn't do 170 next year. I can tell you, I can agree with that. Let's say he just does, like the 138. Okay. You know how many tackles Leighton Vander. Let's see how many tackles Leighton Vander Esch had last year. Let's see. Leighton Vander Esch. Okay. Leighton Vander Esch last year. 77 combined tackles. 1 sack, 1 interception. Let me put back Bobby Wagner's again. 170, 1 sack, 1 interception. So Bobby Wagner had 98 more tackles than Leighton Vander Esch. Shout out to the old guys then. Let's see. How about Jalen Smith? Jalen Smith stats. Let's go to the boys of Pro Football Reference. Let's see. Best Jalen Smith did was 2019 at 142. No, I'm sorry. He had 154 in 2020. That's pretty good. The only problem is he was always drugged down the field about 5 yards. So I would take Bobby Wagner, old ass, who doesn't miss time, doesn't get injured, plays lights out over what we have right now. I'll take him over. Look, let's get Anthony Hitchens in here. Let's take a look at Anthony Hitchens' numbers. Boom. Anthony Hitchens, who says he wants to come back, same age as Bobby Wagner. He had 80 tackles last year, 78 the year before, and 88 the year before that. Yeah, exactly. Tackles for a 6-yard gain. Rico Dorsey. Shout out to Rico Dorsey. I think we should draft the best player available, big defense tackle. Yes. Hey, you speak my language. And there's a lot of big guys in there. There's a lot of big guys in there that can help this team. But the problem for the Cowboys is they believe in sizzle more than substance. And that's why you get rid of Amari Cooper, because he doesn't have the sizzle that they like. They like sizzle. We want to sell some jerseys. We need some sizzle. So let's see. Like I said, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt here, and see what happens. All right, I actually say let's just wait and see. Let's wait and see if they decide we're going to be players in free agency. If we go through and we do the bargain basement shopping shit again, then I'll say, okay, yeah, the same old Cowboys. But maybe, just maybe, they change what they're doing and they go out and they get a Bobby Wagner. Let's take a look at this. Let's pull this on over, see. Because, of course, you know, the thing with the Cowboys, watch on Twitter.
Very interesting call. So big sequence in that game. Put an earmark on it. Prescott trying to take advantage. Going deep. Cooper.
Let me turn the sound off because it probably hit me on this. Dak to Cooper. Boom. Now I'm going to play the protagonist here. I'm going to back this up because let's look at this. Now Dak rolls, and you see he's wide open. Now he does make a great catch there, okay? But you got this wasn't boom again. They're great catches. They're great catches, but if you get a receiver, they get a little separation. I mean, he was wide open on that, guys. He had 3 yards. AB is no, we're not going to get AB. That was a nice catch there. Nice catch and nice. There was no space on that. Well, thank you very much for letting me know I'm an idiot. I appreciate it. Stop it, Mark. The Flirt's pass that Coop made a hell of a lot of catch. Okay. All right. I'm just giving you, I'm just saying. We'll see. We'll see what happens, okay? Linebacker from the Falcons. Hell no to AB. No, I don't. I damn sure don't want AB. Now, listen, I'm not saying that Amari Cooper isn't a great receiver. But sometimes here's what happens. Here's what happens with the narrative. A lot of times you are great because of the circumstances around you. Okay? If it's only about Amari Cooper is a great wide receiver, then how come it didn't work with Derek Carr? How come Randall Cobb, the last 4 years that he was with Aaron Rodgers, the MVP, his numbers went off of the face of the earth to the point where they said, we can get rid of him because he's done. He comes to Dallas with Dak. His numbers are the highest per catch in his career. He then goes to Deshaun Watson in the Texans, and his numbers drop back down like they were when he was with Aaron Rodgers the last few years. He goes back to Green Bay with the reigning MVP, who has Devontae Adams also over there, and his numbers fall right back in line to where he was with Aaron Rodgers. I'm just saying that, are we saying that, or what are we saying when you take those numbers? Let's look at this. Just hold up. Just take a look at this for a second, okay? I know you guys say I'm just a fucking idiot, and that's fine. But take a look. This year with the Packers, he got 375 yards, 13.4 yards a carry with the reigning MVP. The reigning MVP, right? The year before, with Deshaun Watson, who everybody says, Deshaun Watson, he's a better quarterback than Dak Prescott. Oh, it's not even close. He had 441 yards, 11.6, 34 was his longest reception, right? 3 TDs. He comes to the Cowboys with Dak. You see what his number is? Almost twice what he had with Deshaun Watson. More than twice what he had this year with the reigning MVP. 828 yards, 15.1 yards per reception, 3 TDs. And I will remind you that he had 3 TDs that were called back because of bullshit penalties. What did he do the year before with Aaron Rodgers? 383 yards. The year before that, 653, 610. It wasn't until 2015 that he did better with Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball to him than he did with Dak. I'm not trashing him at all. I'm not trashing him at all because Amari Cooper was clearly the best receiver that we had on the roster without a doubt. See, that's where you guys, when you don't follow along in your narrative that you go through immediately say, you're just trashing. I'm not trashing him. How am I trashing him? Look what Randall Cobb's numbers are up here. Look at him. His best year since 2016 was with Dak Prescott. And he went with 2 quarterbacks you guys say are 100 times better. So explain that to me. Mark Hutton, thank you again, man, for the super chat. No, I mean, seriously. And this is where you guys are the same ones that say, Dak is trash. You lost to the 49ers. Then we'll turn around and say, oh, well, Aaron Rodgers had bad weather. So, he had bad weather, and that's why they lost. You're freaking Green Bay. You always have bad weather. There is winter and less winter in Green Bay. I was in Green Bay for the season kickoff. We were doing a community build in September, and it was chilly. I had to wear a jacket in September. And you're going to tell me, oh, well, the weather was too cold for Aaron Rodgers to play against the 49ers. They're a California team. They don't know what freezing is. Come on, man. What? Hold on. DFG? Really? What? Tell me what's loaded on this team. Tell me what's loaded on this team. Because the offensive line, because here's what happens. End of the season, the Cowboys roster is terrible. They stink. They stink. Come the beginning of the season, the Cowboys are loaded. They're Super Bowl favorite. The Cowboys' offensive line has not been good since like 2018. Seriously. Zeke Elliott, older running back with a lot of miles on it, going downhill. Defense. I'll say the defense played a lot better this past year, but honestly, how many players going to this season on that defense would be starters on other teams? Realistically, before the season started, you saw what we got with Jalen Smith. Jalen Smith went to New York and then Green Bay and is out of football. He was our starter for the last couple of years. Van Der Esch. Anybody had any interest in Van Der Esch so far? You heard about any place Van Der Esch is going? How about our defensive linemen that we had, like, say, the year before with, like, I don't know, Gerald McCoy and Dontari Poe and damn, what's the guy from Minnesota too? Shit. Any of those guys very good, right? Any of those guys? No? Just saying. We keep talking about all this talent the Cowboys have. All this talent. Okay. All right. Well, how about all the talent that Aaron Rodgers has? Yeah. There's, the haters love to come to my channel. I don't know why. I am the hater magnet, because
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, real hating, man, that's like an art form, man. It's like you like a born a hater, like myself, man. A lot of cats think they hate, but, man, I mean, I'm mad, I'm mad at everything, man. Brother got a nice car, man. Why you got a car, man? I only got one car. Why you got 3 cars or a wife or all that, man? That's played out, man. I hate on it till he's totally broke and ain't got nothing like me, you know what I'm saying? Because, yeah, that's what real hating is all about, man.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, that dude back in Minnesota, more sacks than D-Law. Yeah, well, D-Law is the one that I look at and say that maybe we should try and do something with. But we'll see. Alma, there's over 600 people in here. Calm down. He misses it. What did I miss? Did somebody having a hissy fit? Alma, huh? There's a lot of people that are in here. I'm sorry. Half the people here freaking out will also be here during come training camp talking about how great the team. Yep, that's it exactly. Stuart, you are 100% right. Fit Jedi Gaming. Let's get in Jerry's ear and get some Bobby Wagner. That's what I said. If you go ahead and get me Bobby Wagner, hey, I'm happy. I will actually say, okay, you guys did something. You did something. And it may end up coming back to bite me in the ass and he ends up not being good. That's possible. But at least we can say they're trying to do something. Half the chicken lifted in here with Chicken Little. Okay, the sky's falling out. Yeah, the sky's falling. I'm not upset by this one. I'm not upset if the Cowboys end up just doing status quo and just sign the players we have and they just go bargain basement shopping and stuff, then I'll be a little more upset. But if they do some playing in free agency, then I'd be okay. I'd be okay. So, our D-line, Cameron to the moon. Mark, hope things are going well in DMV. Hope you guys, everybody's great, Nate. We're doing okay. We scored 9 points in Kansas City, and they scored 19. Fifth rounder stinks. Well, Joe, I'll say a fifth rounder is better than no rounder. Fifth rounder is better than no rounder. Where's Watson going? That's the big question. Well, you traded Amari for a ham sandwich. Way to go, Cowboys. Would you rather have the Cowboys just release him? Amen on that, Jim. Sky's falling. We've been watching this nonsense for almost 30 years. To your mom's house, Cam. Jarvis Landry now on the trade block. West Coast would be great for CeeDee Lamb. Okay. You must forget that we are 28-0 when we run the ball. Yeah. Suave TV, you are 100% right. That's why I say if they're going to take the money from Amari and fix the offensive line, I'm okay with that. I'm okay. Yo, Grant, get out of here, you old-headed, respectfully. Jarvis Landry is available. Right. At the moment we have $20 million, and I don't think that they're done just yet. I think they're going to be probably doing some more restructuring, or they still, they may say that D-Law is not going anywhere, but you never know. You never know. Wonder what the price of Wagner's probably. I would think probably about 14 million. Well, 12 to 14 probably, if not more. Let me look at what was he due for. Bobby Wagner. He had signed a 4-year, $40 million. Okay, wow. Okay, that was an old one. Okay. Career earnings, 84. So he was scheduled to make to be a $17 million cap hit. His guaranteed contract for that's an old. Why is that so old? He was $17 million last year. The extension was terminated, so he was $17 million hit last year. So we'll see what it is. But it all depends on what you do as far as how many years you put in. You can put some voidable years into it and such. Oh, Chip Gaming Sports, I'm with you. Give me a big body banging in there, definitely. Well, you also had him for 3 years there, buddy. Hell, hey, you could be like the Colts. You gave up a first and a third for Carson Wentz, and he was only there for 1 year. Just saying. Front office is pathetic. Well, like I said, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because I'm a Cowboy fan, and what else can I do? There's nothing else I can do. Wow, the Browns got a steal. I love weed. What were you, smoking some weed, man? Yeah, Amari Cooper has gone to the Browns. We swapped 6th-round picks, and the Cowboys get their 5th. So there's that. At least we got $16 million in cap relief. So there's that. Philly, what's up, man? Bro, I'm out. Yeah, actually, I'm going to get on out, too, because I got some stuff going on in the workshop that I need to get finished and take care of stuff. But everybody will definitely be going through. I need to actually go through some notes and find out everything that I can about what's going on with this situation because I think the Cowboys aren't done this weekend. I think this is going to be a lot of shit happening between now and Monday. I think the Cowboys are trying to make a move to get Bobby Wagner. That's just me. I may be crazy, but I think that's what the Cowboys are trying to do. We'll see if La'el Collins gets traded or not. And I think if they do that, I think they definitely will be making a move. So we'll definitely be watching everything that's going on, and we'll see what happens. So, people, let's have a laugh. I see Philly 500 is now on. I don't often watch Eagle channels, but when I do, I watch Philly 500, so I can laugh.
What the fuck?
Shout out Fit Jedi Gaming. Got you covered.
Wow. That has to be the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. You're gonna take a quarterback in the 2nd round? Are you kidding me? What do you just trade Carson then? Are you kidding me? You just took a quarterback in the 2nd round. This team is so good that they don't need to take. They don't need anything else, right? They're so good. This has to be